This is Roy Cannaday, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Hulk Hero Pack for Marvel Champions. Let's get into it. All right, let's take a look at what comes in the Hulk Hero Pack here. So basically you have Hulk himself, and let's just start with Bruce Banner's side over here because we always start with the alter ego first. So Bruce Banner has a recovery of 4. Experimental research, action, draw a card, choose and discard 1 card from your hand, limit once per round. This is going to help make your hand exactly what you want to be able to play for the turn and hopefully be able to figure out what you want to play. He has a whopping 18 hit points. I'm pretty sure this is the highest we've seen on a hero so far, and a hand size of 5. So a little bit lower than average. Of course, this is Hulk, so he doesn't have as many resources to deal with, but then when you flip him over to the Hulk side here, he has a thwart of 0. So he's not going to be able to take care of very many schemes with just his thwart there. But he has an attack of 3, which is awesome, and a defense of 3. And then he has a special ability here in Rage, Force Interrupt. When your turn ends, discard your hand. So pretty negative effects there. So overall, the card itself for the hero card is not super impressive as far as like special abilities and things like that, but maybe it's his cards in his deck that makes Hulk stand apart and really be able to smash. Let's take a look here. So Hulk Smash is the first card here. This card is insane. It costs 3. Is a hero interrupt. When you make a basic attack, so whenever Hulk is exhausting to do that regular 3 basic attack, you get plus 10 for the attack. If you pay for this card only using fighting resources, you are going to gain overkill for the attack. So you could take out a minion and smash right through to the villain themselves. Oh man, 13 attack off of just his base stats there. That could take out quite a few villains and drop them down to the next level. So Hulk Smash is definitely huge. You get 2 of those in the deck. So Hulk is hitting hard. Crushing Blow. You can only spend fighting resources for this card. Also, hero action, deal damage to an enemy equal to your attack. So since Hulk Smash is an interrupt, you won't be able to use Crushing Blow for that specifically, but it gives you another opportunity to attack and then use your attack again. So Hulk's all about dealing that damage. And then Suborbital Leap. So you would think, since Hulk only has 0 thwart, that he's not very good at dealing with threat at all, but Suborbital Leap is a 3-cost card. It says remove 3 threat from the scheme. 5 instead if you paid for this only using the fighting resource. Wow, so he could remove 5 threat from the scheme with just 1 card. It does cost 3 to play, but that seems really good. Awesome, so you get 2 of those as well. Then there is Thunderclap. Choose up to 3 different enemies. Deal 3 to each of them. So you're going to be able to basically figure out who you're knocking out. So that's pretty awesome. This is really good if there's a whole bunch of minions in play at the same time. You can smash some minions. Cool, Unstoppable Force. It's cost 2, and it readies Hulk. If you paid for it only using a fighting resource, you get to draw a card. So this is another way to make Hulk attack even more. So Unstoppable Force, you can't stop him. Then Immovable Object. This gives Hulk plus 4 hit points. He already has 18. Now he's going to have plus 4 more to that. That's crazy. And then Hulk gains Retaliate. So whenever the bad guys are fighting him, which you're not too worried about because his hit points are super high, you'll be able to hit them back for 1 with that Retaliate. Then Boundless Rage. Hero form only. Hulk gets plus 1 attack. After you change forms, discard this card. So while you're in Hulk, you'll be able to have that 4 attack with that plus 1. But if you ever get switched back to Bruce Banner, you're going to have to discard Boundless Rage. But for a 1-cost upgrade, definitely awesome. Then Banner's Laboratory. So this can only be used as Bruce Banner. You get plus 2 recover. And as an alter ego action, exhaust Bruce Banner's Laboratory to generate a science resource. So awesome way to get some of your cards out that you might be trying to get played while you're in alter ego mode. Limitless Rage. I love these cards. Basically just spin this card only in hero form. You get 3 fighting resources. This combos amazingly with things like Hulk Smash, where you're trying to get those 3 resources. You can do that 13 damage in just 2 cards out of your hand. Awesome stuff. You get 2 of those as well. And that is all of his signature cards for Hulk. So now we're going to look at some of the aggression cards, because Hulk is an aggression deck. So Brawn, here's another way to deal with thwart. 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, or 1 thwart, and then he's going to have 1 attack as well. 5 hit points, pretty good. But then after Brawn attacks, you remove 1 threat from the scheme. So this is awesome. You'll be able to deal damage and be able to remove threat as well. So awesome stuff with Brawn there. He does cost 3, which Hulk doesn't have a very big hand size, because Hulk's hand size is just 4 when he's in Hulk mode. But definitely an awesome way to keep that threat down. Sentry, wow, this guy's crazy. 4 cost, 2 thwart, 3 attack, of course with the 1 consequential damage each. And then force response after Sentry enters play under your control, deal 1 encounter card to yourself. So you're going to end up having to draw an encounter card, but he's going to have that 5 hit points and 3 attack for just 4. This guy's going to do a ton of damage, but depending on what you draw as that encounter card, could really see how good or bad this guy is. But he's definitely one that you want to keep alive and just continue to do that 3 attack over and over and over again. She-Hulk, a super interesting character here as well as an ally. 4 cost, 2 thwart, but you do take 2 consequential damage for that. 1 attack, you take 1 consequential damage, but it has a little asterisk here. So it says, She-Hulk gets +1 attack for each damage token here. So She-Hulk, the more hurt she is, the more she's going to hit back. So in theory, as you're slowly attacking each turn, taking the consequential damage, She-Hulk is getting stronger and stronger and able to take out your opponent. Or maybe you use her to block once and hopefully she doesn't get knocked out and you're able to hit back real hard for 1 attack. Awesome stuff there. Dropkick, 3 cost event. Deal 4 damage to an enemy if you paid for this card using only fighting resources. Stun that enemy and draw a card, keeping your opponent from, or the villain from, attacking back. Of course, you get 3 of those. Toe-to-toe, 1 cost event. Hero action attack. Choose an enemy. That enemy attacks you. Deal 5 damage to that enemy. So 5 damage for only 1 cost there. That's amazing. But of course, you're going to be having to figure out ways to deal with the damage you're taking. With the Hulk's hit points, he's not too worried about it. Awesome stuff there. Then, Martial Paralysis costs a 2 cost upgrade. Play it under a player's control, maximum per player. Exhaust it to generate a fighting resource for attack events. So Hulk has tons of different attack events that he's going to want to be playing. This is going to help him be able to play those, even though his hand size is so limited. Then you'll pay for that. This is another way to deal with thwart here. 1 cost event. After the villain attacks you, remove 1 threat from the scheme for each damage you took from that attack. So maybe you can combo a little toe for toe with a you'll pay for that and make him attack you, then remove threat. Good stuff there. And then, of course, Power of Aggression is in the core box. Makes it easier to play your aggression cards. And then To the Rescue. This is another way to deal with threat in Hulk. You would think he wouldn't be that great at that, but he's got a bunch of cards in there that help him make it happen. So 2 cost event, remove 2 threat from a scheme. So just cost 2, removes 2 threat. This is what you need in those dire situations where it's like, oh man, if the threat pushes over, we're going to lose the game. And then, of course, you get your normal energy, genius, and strength with Hulk himself on there. Then, of course, Avengers Mansion. We all know what that does. Helicarrier. We all know what that does. Let's take a look here. Inner Demons. This is his obligation. This is going to change form and flip your identity. Then, if you're Bruce Banner, discard 2 cards from your hand, discard this obligation. If you're a Hulk, exhaust your hero, discard this obligation. So this always goes to the Bruce Banner player and can screw them up. And of course, making his inner demons, the struggle in between Bruce Banner and Hulk is always going on there. And then Abomination. I like to gloss over the minions pretty quickly just because I know some people like to be surprised by how the different cards work when they actually come out for them for the first time. So I'll just kind of show you these cards. You can pause it and check it out if you want. But yeah, you get 3 of these Clash of the Titans in there and Abomination. And then, of course, your Hulk deck card, which tells you how all of the cards in the starter deck are. And then this guy, you always get extra cards that aren't actually in the deck, but these are cards that you can use to build for other decks. This Justice, oh my goodness, this Justice Beat Cop is an amazing card. So 3 cost support, action, exhaust Beat Cop to move a threat from the scheme here. So 3 costs to just being able to move threat from the scheme every round. That's amazing. And then as an action, you can exhaust and discard Beat Cop. Then deal 1 damage to a minion for each threat here. So Beat Cop is able to take out those minions and remove threat as the game goes along. Of course, you're going to discard your beat cop when you actually take down the minion, but can really be great in a pinch, and all the while he's taking out the threat. This card is, I mean, it's almost worth getting the Hulk deck just for this card alone, especially if you're a Justice player. Then Leadership, another great card here. Inspiring Presence. 1-cost event, play only if your identity has the Avenger trait, so only Avengers can play this. Hero action, heal 1 damage from an ally and ready it. Awesome, that'll keep your allies in the game and immediately let them do their thing again. You know, they can get out there, attack, they can get out there and do whatever. Of course, you get 3 of those. And then Electrostatic Armor. This is going to, after you defend against an attack, deal 1 damage to the attacking character. This is very much like the attack back that Black Panther and all of them have. This will allow you to have an extra one of those as a great upgrade, especially for like a Black Panther deck or something like that, or anybody who's playing protection that wants to be able to hit the bad guy back when they hit them. And then Resourceful. Discard Resourceful to gain a wild resource. This is going to let you bank some resources, but it also counts as wild. There are lots of characters in the game now that have triggers off of which card you draw off the top of your deck. Sometimes these wild resources can be really good. So Resourceful is definitely an interesting card, especially for deck building, trying to figure out which decks you want to have access to that wild resource. Well, that's everything we got in Hulk, so let's see what I think. All right, the Hulk Hero Pack. Hulk can definitely do massive amounts of damage. It's definitely really cool to see how you have to get those like attack events lined up just right in your hand to be able to spam them out and hit the villain at the right point. He does have a little bit of issues dealing if they get like toughness and stuff on there because he just has such gigantic swings, but hopefully you can have a minion or something like, or a ally out there that you can ping that sort of toughness off and things like that, so that way you can make those major hits and make it really count. I'm definitely super excited about this deck. I think it has a lot of good cards, not just for Hulk himself, but for other decks going forward as well. There's a lot of interesting things there that you can deck build with, like with the Beat Cop is an amazing card for any Justice deck. I can almost see like every single Justice deck running that card at this point. And it's just cool, the other aggression cards in here as well. You might end up wanting to mix some of that in with Thor or some of your other aggression characters that you really enjoy playing aggression with. It's just crazy how fast he is like race to beat the villain in the face before the threat runs out. But he doesn't seem to have as much of a issue with threat because there are a lot of cards in there that can actually help deal with threat as well. You just have to get them at the right time. So I found it very interesting where I thought that Hulk, because he has 0 thwart, was not going to be able to deal with much threat at all. But if the deck is built, like the pre-built deck is built in a way that you can still figure out ways to manage the threat a little bit, but a lot of it still does feel like a race to try to smash the villain as fast as possible. He doesn't have a very big hand size. I really enjoy like the complicated puzzle of having like a big hand and how to draw more cards. Hulk is definitely not the guy for that. He's going to discard the cards at the end of each time, so there's no like strategic planning for future turns at all. It's like play it all out or lose it. But it feels very thematic for the way Hulk is. It's crazy how they keep coming out with these hero packs, and each one has like a little bit of a different flair or feeling, even though it's very much a game that's like, exhaust this card, use this special ability, add +1. Like, you wouldn't think that that's very thematic, but the way they've put these heroes together continue to make the theme come out in them. So I definitely enjoy Hulk. If you enjoy the game, I do recommend Hulk. It's very enjoyable. I'm definitely excited to see new heroes coming up. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite character is for Marvel Champions so far, and also let me know they've announced tons of new stuff for Marvel Champions. What hero that's coming out in the future are you most looking forward to? I'm super excited for the Rocket Raccoon and Groot from the Guardians of the Galaxy box, and I'm super excited for where the future of that goes. But yeah, Hulk, definitely a thumbs up for me. Check it out, Marvel Champions. I'll see you guys on the next one.